Unearthed in Alexandria, Egypt, a gigantic black sarcophagus weighing 30 tons captivated the world.
Archaeologists made an astonishing find in the Sidi Gabir district of Alexandria.
I've been wondering if it might reveal the body of Alexander the Great or unleash a deadly curse.
Initial speculation ran wild. Could it hold the remains of a legendary pharaoh? But the truth proved stranger than fiction. So who were the inhabitants of this mysterious tomb, and what secrets did they hold? Unearthing Alexandria's secrets. Beneath the bustling streets of Alexandria, a slumbering giant awaited its rediscovery. Construction workers, unwittingly unearthing the city's past, stumbled upon a site that sent shivers down the spines of archaeologists and history buffs alike. A massive sarcophagus, carved from inky black granite, lay concealed for centuries, its secrets locked away in the cold embrace of the earth. A sarcophagus is an ancient coffin, most often carved from imposing slabs of stone. Imagine a rectangular box, big enough for a person to lie inside, crafted from granite, limestone, or even marble. Unlike wooden coffins, sarcophagi were built to last, meant to be a permanent resting place for the deceased. At nearly 9 feet long and imposingly wide, the sarcophagus in question dwarfed its surroundings. Its pristine condition, untouched by the ravages of time, fueled speculation. Who lay entombed within this grand sarcophagus? Was it a king draped in jewels, or a powerful figure from a bygone era? Whispers of Alexander the Great, the legendary Macedonian conqueror, swirled around the discovery. But upon closer inspection, the sarcophagus revealed its true age, a period far removed from Alexander's reign. This giant belonged to the Ptolemaic epoch, a time of both grandeur and turbulence in Alexandria's history. The 4th century CE, when the sarcophagus was likely crafted, was a period of unrest for the city. Invasions and internal conflicts gnawed at its once glorious facade. Yet, the sheer size and grandeur of the sarcophagus hinted at an occupant of immense importance, perhaps a wealthy individual, or a member of a powerful Ptolemaic dynasty. The sealed lid, a testament to the care taken with the burial, heightened the intrigue. Was it filled with treasures fit for a king? Or perhaps the remains of a family, forever bound in their final resting place? The possibilities were tantalizing. Undeterred by the whispers of a 2,000-year-old curse, archaeologists, led by the stoic Mustafa Waziri, embarked on a meticulous process of revealing the sarcophagus's secrets. The anticipation was palpable. Would the curse be unleashed, or would history finally unveil its secrets? The unveiling was met not with a vengeful spirit, but with a surprising discovery. The sarcophagus held not the remains of a single high-ranking individual, but what appeared to be the skeletons of soldiers. One skull bore the marks of a sharp instrument, a grim reminder of the violent times. The sarcophagus, however, wasn't alone in its misfortune. Sewage water had seeped into its chamber, accelerating the decay of its contents. This unfortunate turn of events couldn't dampen the public's fascination. Meanwhile, on the fringes of reason, a bizarre trend emerged. A petition, signed by over 17,000 individuals, advocated for the consumption of the red coffin juice, a fantastical notion of turning the sarcophagus contents into an energy drink. The concoction, they believed, held the key to immortality. Needless to say, this morbid ambition was swiftly quashed by the Egyptian authorities. The sarcophagus, now a resident of the Alexandria National Museum, continues to be a source of intrigue. Its discovery has shed light on a tumultuous period in the city's history and offered a glimpse into the lives of those who walked its streets centuries ago. It serves as a potent reminder that beneath the surface of our modern world lie stories waiting to be unearthed, whispering tales of a time long gone. Now, you can't speak about a sarcophagus without mentioning the Great Pyramids, right? The enigma of the Lost Labyrinth. Long shadows stretch across the Giza Plateau, where the pyramids stand as silent sentinels to the ingenuity of a bygone era. These colossal structures, defying logic with their sheer size and precision, have captivated us for millennia. Yet, whispers from the dusty pages of history hint at a marvel that may have surpassed even these wonders: the Lost Labyrinth. Unlike the Stoic pyramids, the labyrinth was a vibrant display of life. Ancient travelers spoke of a sprawling temple complex, its corridors weaving a labyrinthine path that challenged even the most seasoned explorer. Herodotus, the renowned Greek historian, marveled at its grandeur, declaring it a feat outshining even the pyramids. He described its intricate design, boasting over 3,000 rooms adorned with exquisite hieroglyphs and breathtaking paintings. Imagine, if you will, a labyrinthine palace, its heart a majestic court bathed in the soft glow of a single colossal stone slab serving as the roof. But the purpose of this enigmatic structure remains shrouded in mystery. Was it a final resting place for a pharaoh, a sacred temple pulsating with the rhythm of rituals, or perhaps a grand stage for religious ceremonies? Some speculate it was a brazen display of Egyptian power, showing just how good their architecture was. Despite numerous accounts, some penned centuries apart, painting a surprisingly consistent picture, the labyrinth remains frustratingly elusive. Archaeologists have meticulously combed the sands, identifying potential sites, but the true location stubbornly resists discovery. Were the descriptions embellished, or did the relentless hand of time reclaim this marvel for its own? The answer, perhaps, lies buried beneath the shifting dunes. Each excavation attempt fuels the fire of hope, the possibility that the labyrinth, with its secrets and stories, awaits to be unearthed. So what was in the Egyptian tombs? Forget the dusty stereotype of tombs filled only with mummies. Ancient Egyptians believed in an afterlife, a vibrant continuation after death. This belief explains the fascinating discoveries archaeologists unearth alongside mummies: food, tools, clothing, even pets. Imagine a final journey complete with all you might need in the next life. Take the esteemed unnamed official from the 13th century BC. His elaborately prepared tomb, rediscovered in 2010 after being lost for centuries, held a surprise. Nestled among his belongings was a jar containing cheese. This 3,200-year-old cheese, likely made from sheep or goat's milk, offers a glimpse into ancient Egyptian diets. Imagine them enjoying a soft, spreadable cheese, perhaps with a slightly tangy taste, not unlike some modern varieties. Interestingly, the cheese also contained bacteria linked to an ancient illness, reminding us that even pharaohs weren't immune to health problems. Now, let's travel to the breathtaking Bahariya Oasis. Here, an unpredictable event unveiled a treasure trove. A guard's donkey stumbled upon a hidden hole, revealing a glimmer of gold, the entrance to the Valley of the Golden Mummies. This accidental discovery in 1996 led to the unearthing of over 200 mummies, some dating back to 330 BCE. Think about a necropolis filled with 105 mummies in pristine condition. There were gilded mummies, wealthy citizens and merchants laid to rest with their loved ones. Some were wrapped in luxurious linen, while others were buried more simply. The site also revealed fascinating details about Roman-influenced mummification practices during this period. Little clay statues of mourners were found, a poignant reminder of the importance placed on honoring the deceased. Empty vials, believed to have held tears, hinted at the emotional goodbyes. This accidental discovery continues to shed light on the lives and customs of Roman-influenced Egyptians, the mummies. Mummies often held secrets beyond their physical remains. In 1848, a Croatian official purchased a sarcophagus containing a female mummy in Alexandria. Back home, he unwrapped the mummy to preserve the linen wrappings. Little did he know he'd stumble upon a historical enigma. Upon closer inspection, the linen wrappings were covered in a script that initially baffled researchers. Initially thought to be Egyptian hieroglyphs, it turned out to be something entirely different. The language, eventually identified as an Etruscan, remained a mystery for decades. Today, These wrappings are considered the longest Etruscan text ever discovered. However, its meaning remains an unsolved puzzle. Why was the mummy wrapped in this unknown language? What secrets does the text hold? The mystery continues to intrigue scholars to this day. These stories, spanning centuries and continents, show us that tombs are more than just burial grounds. They are windows into the past, offering glimpses into the lives, beliefs, and even diets of our ancestors. The massive ritual structure in Egypt. The sands of Egypt hold countless secrets, whispering tales of a past era through unearthed artifacts and enigmatic structures. These structures are of great importance to researchers, since they help in making sense out of history. Also, added context to such findings allows us to learn from the human beings of the past and perhaps link them to us. One such recent discovery, in September 2018, unveiled a perplexing ritual complex in the Hid al-Demirdash area. Measuring a substantial 50 feet by 50 feet, this massive structure sparked debate among archaeologists due to the seemingly contradictory artifacts found within. Pottery, adorned with the image of Bes, the Egyptian god of music and fertility, adorned the ritual space. While these pieces hinted at fertility rituals, the plot thickened with the discovery of a nearby building housing Roman artifacts. This included a Roman bath, typically used for religious ceremonies in their culture. Considering the complex's proximity to Cairo, just 12 miles away, the coexistence of these seemingly disparate practices fueled speculation. Egyptologists, however, proposed a fascinating theory. The area might have served as a shared space for both Egyptians and Romans to conduct fertility and cleansing rituals, with separate areas accommodating their distinct religious beliefs. Intriguingly, the Sphinx at Giza continues to cover itself in mystery. Author Robert Temple proposed a groundbreaking theory that challenges our understanding of this iconic monument. He suggests the Sphinx we see today was actually an attempt by a pharaoh of the 4th dynasty to claim the work of his predecessors. Evidence for this theory lies in the peculiar head-to-body ratio. The head appears disproportionately small, leading some to believe it was eroded from a larger structure. Additionally, hieroglyphs at the Temple of Teftu-Nef reveal that the original Giza deity was Anubis, the jackal-headed god of the underworld. These hieroglyphs depict Anubis in his jackal form, mirroring the Sphinx's body, without any mention of a lion. Interestingly, King Tutankhamun's tomb, the only completely undisturbed royal burial, contains a shrine to Anubis that matches the Sphinx's scale, but features a jackal head. This compelling evidence suggests the original statue was likely an Anubis, not a lion with a human head. So where does the lion-human hybrid imagery come from? The association with a sphinx stems solely from ancient Greek mythology, where creatures with a lion's body and a human head were featured in stories like Oedipus and the Sphinx. No such symbol exists in ancient Egyptian mythology. The hieroglyphs associating the Sphinx with a human head, and therefore a pharaoh of the 4th dynasty, are believed to be forgeries. Attempts by the pharaoh to claim credit for a monument he didn't build. Meanwhile, a team of Polish archaeologists made a startling discovery in the Saqqara necropolis, the ancient city of the dead near Memphis. This necropolis, filled with ornate tombs, was undoubtedly reserved for royalty. Nearby, in September 2018, Egyptologist Kamal Kareskevitz and his team stumbled upon something unusual while excavating between the Pyramid of Djoser, aka the world's oldest pyramid, and its surrounding dry moat. Tombs of high-ranking individuals are typically filled with grave goods reflecting their status and often bear hieroglyphic inscriptions. Modern scholars can decipher these inscriptions, gleaning valuable information about the deceased and the culture they belong to. However, Kareskovitz's team encountered something entirely different. What could this possibly be? The unearthed burials, numbering around 500, were simple and lacked the meticulous craftsmanship of royal tombs. Some might even call them clumsy. That's kinda weird. Burials from this era have always been known to be extremely specific and thorough. So what was wrong with these ones? Archaeologists believe this could be a burial ground for the working or middle class. The embalming process was rudimentary, with bodies placed directly in sand pits or decaying wooden coffins. Notably, one particular coffin remained relatively intact. However, instead of the customary inscribed name of the deceased, the lid displayed crude imitations of hieroglyphs, nonsensical symbols that defied interpretation. Researchers suspect the painter might have been illiterate, attempting to replicate hieroglyphs they'd seen before. Even the figures of Anubis, the guardian of the underworld, were painted in an unusual blue instead of the traditional black. This discovery sparks a fascinating question. Were these clumsy burials an attempt by ordinary people to mimic the elaborate rituals and practices reserved for royalty, even if they didn't fully understand the symbolism? Unearthing the Nile's whispers. One ongoing debate centers on the appearance of ancient Egyptians. Did they resemble their modern-day counterparts? The answer, as with many aspects of this ancient civilization, is surprisingly complex. While modern Egyptians descend from sub-Saharan Africans with darker skin and hair, depictions from powerful dynasties showcase a wider range of complexions. Technological advancements have finally provided a definitive answer. Until recently, analyzing ancient DNA was hampered by contamination from handling and modern sources. Additionally, the harsh Egyptian climate, hot and humid in tombs, wasn't ideal for DNA preservation. However, in 2017, researchers made a breakthrough. By analyzing 166 bone samples from 151 mummies dating back to 1400 BC, they were able to reliably sequence the DNA of 3 individuals. The results were unexpected. The ancient DNA most closely resembled people from the Eastern Mediterranean: Turkey, Iraq, Israel, Jordan, Syria, and Lebanon. These findings suggest that the residents of Egypt during the New Kingdom and Middle Kingdom, when Egypt was under Roman control, shared ancestry with modern Near Eastern cultures. Further analysis revealed a fascinating twist. Modern Egyptians share more DNA with Central Africans than with their ancient ancestors. This genetic shift is believed to have occurred within the last 1,500 years, possibly due to the trans-Saharan slave trade or increased trade and mobility along the Nile. Beyond DNA, recent discoveries continue to paint a vivid picture of this ancient civilization. At the sprawling Deir el-Bahari complex, a treasure chest unearthed by Polish archaeologists has ignited excitement. This remarkable site, near Luxor and Karnak, houses numerous monuments and tombs of royalty and nobility. The chest, discovered amidst construction debris, held intriguing items dating back over 3,500 years. Wrapped in linen were the bones of a sacrificed goose, an egg symbolizing life, and an ibis egg, a bird significant in ancient Egyptian spirituality. Accompanying the chest was a wooden box, inscribed with the name of Pharaoh Thutmose II, and shaped like a mortuary chapel. These items strongly suggest a royal connection. Professor Andrei Novinsky, leading the excavation, believes this royal deposit indicates a tomb or temple dedicated to Thutmose II. The location, within a royal cemetery, further bolsters this theory. The discovery suggests the pharaoh was once buried here, raising questions about his final resting place. Thutmose II, who ruled for only 3 years in 1476 to 1479 BCE, died at the young age of 16. He was married to his sister Hatshepsut, a practice common in the royal bloodline to consolidate power. However, Hatshepsut went on to become one of Egypt's most powerful and prosperous female pharaohs. The discovery of the chest and inscribed box has fueled the archaeological team's pursuit of Thutmose II's lost tomb. The possibility of an undisturbed royal tomb, untouched by looters, is a tantalizing prospect. Such a discovery would offer unparalleled insight into authentic Egyptian burial practices and reveal a new chapter in the Nile's captivating story. The last untouched tomb discovered, that of Tutankhamun, yielded a wealth of treasures, forever changing our understanding of ancient Egypt. Could Thutmose II's tomb hold secrets even more profound? Only time and the tireless efforts of archaeologists will tell. But beyond DNA analysis, there are other ways to determine what the ancient Egyptians possibly looked like. Artistic representations and sculptures offer another captivating window, albeit one clouded by artistic license and symbolic intent. Unlike a photograph, these depictions require a nuanced approach, acknowledging the conventions that shaped their creation. Egyptian art wasn't concerned with strict anatomical accuracy. Skin tones were often applied based on symbolism, with lighter shades signifying nobility and darker hues designating the working class or foreigners. Artistic proportions followed a specific system, emphasizing certain features to create a stylized aesthetic rather than a realistic portrait. Despite these limitations, a fascinating range of skin tones adorns the walls of Egyptian tombs and temples. Red ochre, a naturally occurring pigment, was a popular choice for depicting both men and women. Variations in shade, from a light, almost reddish orange to a deep brick red, hint at a potential awareness of diverse skin tones within the population. Yellow ochre also found its place on the artist's palette, sometimes used for women or foreigners. The Egyptian artistic spectrum extends beyond the red and yellow ochres. Black skin is depicted on some figures, often representing Nubians, a neighboring civilization to the south. Intriguingly, some portrayals show Egyptians themselves with black skin, suggesting either artistic license or a wider range of complexions within the population itself. Interpreting these skin tones requires caution. Lighter skin might not always reflect reality, but rather signify an elevated social status. Conversely, a darker depiction might not imply Nubian origin, but rather be a way to portray someone of lower social standing. The symbolic use of skin tone adds another layer of complexity to the puzzle. Mummy masks, often ornately decorated with facial features, offer a potential glimpse into real appearances. However, these masks were idealized portraits, meant to beautify the deceased and ensure a smooth transition into the afterlife. Their accuracy in reflecting actual skin tone remains debatable. The statuesque ideal of pharaohs and deities presents another layer to this multifaceted issue. These figures, typically portrayed with light skin tones and idealized features, were not meant to be realistic portrayals. They embodied images of power and divinity, adhering to a specific aesthetic standard with little room for individual variation. Foreign influences also left their mark on Egyptian artistic styles. During the Hellenistic period, when Greek influence was strong, Egyptian art incorporated more realistic portrayals of the human form. This suggests a potential shift towards a more accurate representation of skin tones. The range of skin tones depicted in Egyptian art, when viewed through a critical lens, suggests a population with more diversity than previously thought. While some may have had lighter skin, others likely had darker complexions, reflecting the influence of neighboring regions and internal variation within the population itself. Appearance analysis goes beyond skin color. Hairstyles in Egyptian art varied greatly, with men often sporting short, shaved heads or elaborate wigs. Women's hairstyles ranged from short and braided to long and flowing. Facial features, however, were generally depicted in a standardized way, adhering to the established artistic conventions. But despite all of this research, the true appearance of ancient Egyptians remains somewhat elusive. The thermal mystery of the Great Pyramid. The Great Pyramid of Giza, a monument that has captivated humanity for millennia, continues to hold its secrets close. One such mystery, unveiled in 2015 through thermal scans, concerns a peculiar temperature anomaly within its structure. While the vast majority of the pyramid's limestone blocks exhibit minimal temperature fluctuations throughout the day, a trio located on the eastern face display a stark contrast. These specific blocks remain consistently 6 degrees warmer than their neighbors, even during the natural cooling and heating cycles caused by sunrise and sunset. This anomaly has ignited a firestorm of theories and speculation. Could it be a result of subtle air currents swirling within the pyramid's labyrinthine passages? Perhaps these stones are remnants of repairs or reinforcements, constructed from materials with different thermal properties. The very possibility of undiscovered chambers or hidden passageways hidden beneath the surface adds fuel to the flames of archaeological intrigue. The thermal scanning process itself offers a fascinating glimpse into the meticulous approach adopted by modern researchers. Scans were conducted throughout the day, meticulously recording temperature variations at different times. By meticulously monitoring the pyramid as the limestone blocks absorbed the sun's heat during sunrise and then released it as the day progressed towards sunset, scientists were able to isolate this persistent anomaly. The location of these anomalous blocks on the eastern face is another intriguing piece of the puzzle. Does their position play a role in the observed temperature difference? While a definitive answer remains elusive, the very presence of this anomaly underscores the complexity of the pyramid's construction and the potential for hidden secrets waiting to be unearthed. The Great Pyramid is not the only target of such thermal investigations. The success of this approach has led to similar scans on other prominent pyramids, with the hope that unlocking the secrets of one might illuminate the mysteries of all. Perhaps a common thread, revealed through thermal analysis, could shed light on the engineering marvels of ancient Egypt and the techniques employed by these bygone builders. The discovery of the unfinished obelisk in recent years serves as another powerful example of how these investigations can unlock the secrets of the past. By studying this incomplete monument, researchers gained invaluable insights into the techniques used to create the towering obelisks and other awe-inspiring structures that dot the Egyptian landscape. This ongoing effort to scan, research, and analyze the pyramids represents a relentless pursuit of knowledge. History will always be fascinated by these gigantic structures. Beyond the thermal anomalies and the unfinished obelisk, another layer of mystery surrounds the depictions of pyramid builders in ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics. Egyptologists commonly acknowledge the artistic license taken when portraying the ruling class. These figures are often depicted as 2 to 3 times larger than the average person, a symbolic representation of their importance and power. However, some scholars propose a more radical interpretation, suggesting that these depictions were far more faithful to reality than previously believed. Could the ruling elite of ancient Egypt have been a race of giants, towering over their subjects with immense physical prowess? Proponents of this theory point to the presence of giant humanoids depicted in various forms of ancient artwork. They cite the legend recounted to Sultan al-Mamun in 820 AD, when he embarked on a failed attempt to breach the Great Pyramid. According to this legend, the structure was built by the jinn, which translates roughly to superhuman beings, who possessed knowledge and capabilities far exceeding those of ordinary mortals. This narrative suggests that not only were the Egyptians' depictions of their rulers accurate, but that neighboring civilizations were aware of the role giants played in pyramid construction and the advanced technologies employed. While mainstream science remains skeptical, the mere existence of this theory highlights the enduring allure of the pyramids and the insatiable human desire to unravel their mysteries. Many remain convinced that the pyramids hold deeper meaning, that their construction required an extraordinary level of technology or brute strength beyond the capabilities of the ancient Egyptians. Some researchers even find the prevailing theories of pyramid construction difficult to reconcile with the sheer scale and precision of these monuments. The Great Pyramid of Giza, with its thermal anomalies and towering presence, stands as a testament to the enduring power of human curiosity. The ongoing pursuit of knowledge, through meticulous scans, analysis of ancient artwork, and even seemingly outlandish theories, ensures that the secrets of the pyramids will continue to captivate us for generations to come. So, what do you think? Did the black sarcophagus hold royalty, or something far more unexpected? Do you believe all the potential lore surrounding ancient Egypt? Share your theories in the comments below. If you enjoyed this glimpse into the mysteries of the past world, be sure to like this video and subscribe for more exciting discoveries. Thanks for watching.